the very eminent personalities as the chief guest for the day today. So I hereby request the director, Mr. S.K. Nair sir, and the principal, Mrs. Priya Nova Charles, to kindly guide our dignitaries on the stage, that is Dr. Sudha K.K., Mr. Peter George, and Miss Jessie Rani. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to the Kidzee dignitaries as well as our chief guest on stage. So the official meeting actually starts. This is the time to get guidance from the experts. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start with saying, Vidya dadati vinayam, vinayad yati patritam. Vidya dadati vinayam, vinayad yati patritam. This means knowledge, vidya, gives humility, and from humility comes worth. I'm sure our chief guest, Dr. Sudha K.K., finds this correctly pronounced, because amongst us, ladies and gentlemen, we have Dr. Sudha K.K., who is a highly accomplished Sanskrit scholar with over 20 years of experience teaching at the undergraduate as well as the postgraduate levels, holding a PhD in Sanskrit from the National Sanskrit University, formerly called RSVP Tirupati. She possesses a deep passion for the Itihas and Puranas. Her expertise is evidenced by her 30+ publications in journals and magazines, as well as numerous conference presentations and contributions to curriculum development. Dr. Sudha K.K. is currently a senior faculty member at Adarsh Samskrita Mahavidyalaya, and Dr. Sudha's contributions extend beyond traditional scholarship, ladies and gentlemen. Her research focuses on various aspects of ancient Indian literature and culture, including women's role, political systems, ethics, and management principles. Dr. Sudha K.K. draws extensively from the Mahabharata, Ramayana, and other scriptures. Dr. Sudha K.K.'s extensive experience, diverse contributions, and prolific output solidify her position as a leading figure in Sanskrit scholarship and pedagogy. Her work bridges the gap between ancient traditions and contemporary applications, making her a valuable asset to the academic community. We at Kidzee can't thank enough and welcome Dr. Sudha ma'am to this occasion of Kidzee Annual Day function. A small memento and bouquet presented by Mr. S.K. Nair to Dr. Sudha K.K. Our next guest is an eminent personality called Mr. Peter George. Mr. Peter George, ladies and gentlemen, is a seasoned professional with extensive experience in the industrial as well as educational sectors. A graduate in mechanical engineering, he also holds an advanced diploma in industrial management. Mr. Peter George began his career with Indian Telephone Industry Limited, ITI Limited, in 1974, where he made significant contributions during his tenure until his retirement in 2010. His roles at ITI Limited spanned across engineer tool design, production manager, chief engineer operations and project planning, deputy general manager for methods and industrial engineering, and additional general manager for operations at the corporate office. Mr. Peter George, was a key figure in the successful implementation of the prestigious mobile communications projects like GSM, CDMA, WLL and GPON for BSNL as well as MTNL. Mr. Peter George also served as the Vice President, Operations and Country Head for Elfon Corporation, which is a US-based company. In addition to this rich corporate career, Mr. Peter George has been deeply involved in the sector of education. He has been associated with the DKS Educational Society since 1990, first as the secretary and later as the president. Under Mr. George's leadership, the society manages several institutions, including Jubilee School, which is state syllabus, Jubilee Central School that follows CBSE, and Jubilee College. Mr. Peter George is also connected with numerous other educational institutions such as Garden City College, Devamata Central School, Fatima School, and Kidzee RM Nagar. Mr. Peter George is married to Miss Gracie Peter and they have one son and one daughter. We welcome Mr. Peter George on behalf of Kidzee RM Nagar. Thank you so much for coming, sir. Presenting a small memento and bouquet by Mr. S.K. Nair. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our another eminent guest, Miss Jessie Rani, who is the Senior Academic Manager for South Zone Z-Learn Limited. Miss Jessie Rani M is a highly motivated and result-driven early childhood educational professional with extensive experience in creating positive and enriching learning environments for young children. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Jessie Rani holds a BCom degree with an advanced diploma in early childhood care and education, which is abbreviated as ECCE. With a proven track record in academic coordination and counseling roles, she has contributed to reputable preschool settings such as Kidzee and Clay Preschool. Currently serving as the Senior Academic Manager for the South Zone at Z-Learn Limited, Ms. Jessie is dedicated to fostering a supportive educational environment and nurturing the development of preschool children. Her passion for early childhood education is matched by her love for dance, which she enjoys in her personal time. Team Kidzee acknowledges the support of Ms. Jessie Rani, and thank you very much, ma'am, for spending your time. Small memento and a bouquet by Mr. S.K. Nair. We thank wholeheartedly all the three guests, Mr. Peter George, Dr. Sudha KK and Ms. Jessie Rani, to have spent and kept their Saturday morning in order to motivate us. They are all accompanied by our in-house talent, Mr. S.K. Nair. Shri S.K. Nair is the Director, Educate Foundation. After a remarkable of 23 long years at ITI Limited, Bangalore, Mr. S.K. Nair joined as the Chief Administrator for the most reputed educational institution, that is Garden City College, Bangalore. With an exemplary service of 13 years in Garden City University, Mr. Nair continued in the field of education and established EduTech Foundation, a non-governmental organization. Kidzee is one among the project of EduTech Foundation. Mr. S.K. Nair's contribution in the field of education and social services were evident in the organizations like Garden City University, Jubilee School and College, Devamata Central Schools, Federal Public School, Kerala Samajam, etc. He is the former president of Jubilee Institutions managed by Kerala Samajam and authored and published 3 Malayalam story collection books and 1 autobiography. Mr. S.K. Nair is married to Ms. Chandrika and have 2 children, Shahana and Sachin. Sir, it is always a great honor to have you with us. We were talking about how children are different kinds of flower and how Kidzee, having all children put together, looks like a beautiful garden. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know behind every beautiful garden is the hard work of the gardener who gives his soul and time to the beauty of that garden, and we know that Mr. S.K. Nair has played that role beautifully for Kidzee. Can we have a big round of applause for all the dignitaries and the principal, Mrs. Priya Nova Charles. We would like to hear it from experts. We have seen their profile. It is so rich and it would be injustice not to hear from them. So I hereby invite Dr. Sudha KK to kindly address the crowd, which is full of curious parents who want to seek some advices. So Dr. Sudha KK. Okay. So, my bad. I would request Mr. S.K. Nair to set the precedence of the talk today. So, ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause to Mr. S.K. Nair. This is also working.
Listen up. Good morning to you all. We are in between good morning and good afternoon. I have so pleasure to stand in front of you and announce that Kidzee is completing 10 years. I was witnessing, sitting there, I was witnessing the programs performed by our children. Every year I used to interfere in this. I used to be with them. This year I thought, let them do at their own. I just gave a sketch for that skit, that's all. But everything was done by the staff and the children themselves. I am so happy that Kidzee has grown into this level now. Today, I thankfully and gratefully acknowledge the presence of one great personality, Suvarna Kumari, Madam. You heard about Jubilee School, no? Jubilee School. You heard about Jubilee School? Yeah, just Jubilee School started with very few children and very few classes. In fact, that was a pillar. She was a pillar for Jubilee School, and in the foundation stage, she only made that institution to this level, today's level. She was the headmistress for Jubilee School for several years, and now she is retired. I also acknowledge the presence of Madam Gracie Peter, the chairperson for Ladies Wing of Kerala Samajam, and many more are there. Difficult to see and acknowledge that. Chandramohan is here. Chandramohan. Okay, anyway, today's message was the usage of AI. AI is, we have become addicted to AI in one way or another. We were, in fact, I don't know, I don't remember the phone number of my wife even, because it's there in my mobile. And when we are adding, we depend on calculator to add, because earlier it was not like that. So in every field, it has become like that. In once upon a time, we were having a program, an interaction with a great personality for the Kidzee parents. And one parent was asking, it was very difficult to control my child because always he needs phone. That person, Ali Khoja, he was telling, the child didn't come along with the phone. You were using in front of child, and like that, child has got affection to that. And now, to avoid that, you have to keep it away. use it for only for important purposes only. That was the message given like that. Now it is very difficult, and the young parents, today's young parents are facing a lot of problem with the mobile, not only the mobile, everything. As the children gets educated, they are also going to the chat GPT. Now it is the chat GPT. To write a letter, we need not use our brain. Chat GPT will help us. So many dangerous situations are there with the AI, which the parents has to control themselves, and they have to help the children to do so. Today, I welcome my friend and president of former president of Kerala Samajam, Mr. Peter George, and my Dr. Sudha Ravi, a scholar and educationalist, and another person is Jesse. We have seen many academic managers to help the Kidzee, but there is the difference between them and Madam Jessie. She is the most effective and efficient academic manager, I can say. So I welcome you all, and the meeting will get over now. This is the important time you have to listen. Our guests will be addressing, and you have to listen. And it will end within a few half an hour or 1 hour. The program will get over. Till then, you have to be with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. S.K. Nair, for setting the tune, for paving the way for the experts to come. And my first request is for Dr. Sudha KK to kindly come and guide our parents and children equally. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen.
All the parents, dear kids, sweet kids, and the dignitaries on the stage. The very first thing, a very big thank you for the generous introduction that was done by the MC. When S.K. Nair sir told me to address the young parents, I asked him why me. I don't think I'm qualified enough to talk as a psychologist to parent the young children here, but probably as an academician and a bit more senior parent than you all here, I can share a few of my experience. That's all. That's what I want to do here. And please be assured, I am not going to take time. I know you are all waiting for the beautiful performances to come still, right? Yeah. And I know the parents, young parents, when I see you all, I really feel a bit jealous, because you are going through the beautiful period of your life. I'm telling you, each moment with these tiny thoughts that you are spending now is going to be with you forever through your life. And one more thing, anything good will not last forever, right? And that is why you have to be very careful. People, like a blink, your children will grow. And then looking back, you will be wondering, where were all those wonderful days? If you really don't spend time with them now, then it will not come again. Then you will have to wait for your next generation, which will be your grandchildren. But by then, what will be our energy levels? I don't know. So please make the best of your time now. That is my first suggestion. For addressing you, I have thought about a plan which is ORB. I would like to call it ORB. O-R-B. O stands for opinion. R stands for reality. And B stands for balance. All our activities, all our thinking process, all our outlooks, everything is based on our opinion. You may agree with me. And what is an opinion? We always think about something or somebody or some phenomenon on our own lines of thoughts. That is what opinion is. But do we really look back to ourselves where this particular opinion is correct or true or fair or right? If we really analyze this opinion pattern, then we will never be biased, we will never be misguided, we will never be arrogant about others. Because passing judgment is human, everybody will do it. We judge people by not by what they are. We never actually pay attention to what they really are. But the world has developed into a situation where people judge others by what they have. Do you agree with me? People always know of our generation, probably the mid-40s to 50 people, or the 60s people, or any such generations, they always judge young people, not only young generations like the tiny tots that we see now, but the young parents also. Like, they judge that these people are not guiding them properly, the people are not doing this, that and all. Maybe our parents or our grandparents would have judged us like that, or that too. When the generations go forward, there will be changes and we cannot do anything about it. Coming back to our point, opinion. What is an opinion? We say our opinion may not be a fact always. Opinions are formed by experience, nurture, nature, and so many other outward complicated contributions to a personality. So when we talk about an opinion, we can just analyze whether our opinion is good or bad by just an example. You know, I don't know how many are Malayalis here. Malayalam singer K.J. Jesudas, an acclaimed singer, and we in Kerala call him the Asatan very fondly. And he is the Gana Gandharvan for all the Malayalis, the Keralites. Not for Keralites, but probably the whole of this world acclaims him as the best singer possibly born during our own times. And I am not talking anything bad or good about anybody or anything. There are people who don't like Yesudas' voice. Can you believe? So I am coming to the point of opinion. So when somebody says that Yesudas is not a good singer, does it mean that he is useless? Does it mean that he doesn't know to sing? Does it mean anything at all? And what is that? That is an opinion. So that is an opinion, and as individuals, we all have the right to have opinions. Nobody can question it, but that may not be right or correct. In many ways, that may not be a fact. So, when we talk about this opinion, how does it come to our life of parenting is seeing our children and comparing other children with them. Just now, they said that it's a garden, and a garden have many types of flowers. If the garden has only roses, that will be beautiful in a certain way. If it has only jasmine, that will be beautiful in a different way. Like that, each flower has its own beauty, its own fragrance, and its own role to play in a garden. But when a garden is full of so many varieties of flowers, that garden becomes more beautiful. When your child is carved out for something and you are comparing your child with a child which is probably scoring more than him or doing some other extracurricular activities better than him or any such things, the comparison is actually forming an opinion, and that is directly affecting our children. This will be carried throughout their life, and the childhood temperament, you know how important it is for a personality development. So this opinionated opinion, to have opinion is right, but to have an opinion is your own personal right, but it cannot really allowed to affect others' personality or individuality. That much we have to keep our opinions to ourselves. Next comes reality. We always talk about reality. But reality is reality always objective? I don't think. See, now we are what? 12 o'clock here in India. So, this is noon, midday for us. That is our objective reality. But for a person who is sleeping in Canada, it is midnight. That is also reality. So the reality again comes as objective or subjective. And each one of us have our own objective realities and subjective realities. When it comes to subjective realities, how we grow our children, making them realize the subjective reality of our family, our culture, tradition, everything, that matters a lot to make them good persons. So, not just scoring now, learning and then earning and making a few bucks in future is our mission. Our mission is to develop them into good citizens of this country, good individuals, good co-fellow workers, co-fellow human beings. So when these people grow without any of these cultural inputs, how they will become. Nowadays, I'm just a bit digressing here. We can see that from these generations, we ourselves have become more and more self-centered and selfish nowadays. We always think me, I, mine, etc. Before that, it was not like that. I'm not saying that we have to go back to an era when people didn't have individual life at all. They sacrificed everything for the goodness or the well-being of the family or the society or the village, so many other groups and clusters. But do we have to really think about how we think about ourselves and our co-fellows, our fellow beings, our own children, our own elders, our own teachers, so many other people who have contributed towards us. If we start thinking about it, we will never allow our children to grow just as self-centered as they may become in this given circumstances. Why I say this is these children now, when they are even warned against certain things by the teachers or the elders or the family members, they get really offended personally. In the days, probably many of you may agree with me that when we were children, we were actually, the children of so many people, not just our parents. Maybe our aunts, our uncles, our grandparents, so many people used to have a say in what we do, what we see, what we wear, where we go, how we socialize, everything. There was a lot of problems, I agree, but there was a balance also there. People never used to think that this is my decision and nobody can question. Because this my, I and mine will not contribute to this society much. So, here coming back to the point of subjective reality, nowadays parents, they tend to get whatever is demanded by the children. There is no answer, there is no answer. And no child is actually reared up to face no answers. When they cannot even face a no answer, how can they failures in future? Not that they will fail, but there may be failures also. Nobody's life is full of bed of roses. Nobody's life is full of plus points. Nobody's life is full of minus points. There may be minus points dominating sometimes. There may be certain times when that may not be your day. That may not be your call. Then, now you can see, you compare this rate of suicides among children, among teenagers, among youngsters, then you can come back to this subjective reality. The subjective reality is never made to realize by the parents. The children should know what is the subjective reality of our family. If he demands a t-shirt of 7,000 rupees, seeing something online, and demands that to the parents should have the courage to say no. How much ever he may throw a tantrum, he may do whatever, he may blackmail you, he may emotionally, so many things. But you have to really be very, very strict with them in these kind of things and practice them to face nuances also. If the subjective reality is that you cannot afford a t-shirt for 7,000 rupees, let the child know that. You don't have to put a mask in front of the child and say that, okay, whatever nowadays the parents think that what are we doing, whatever we are earning is for our children, whatever we are toiling is for our children. If we are depriving them of so many things, then what are we doing all these for? No, that is not the thing. Let them do that. There are underprivileged children out there. Let them see what the real world is. Let them know that what kind of blessed life they are actually graced with by the Lord Almighty. How good their life is. And if they are prepared to answer, these no answers, and if they are prepared to the realities of life and making them understand what is the subjective reality of the family if can afford something or cannot afford something. If the family cannot afford something, the child should know that. If the family can afford something and the family at that present moment is not ready for that, then also the child should be made to understand that this is not the time and you will have to wait for that. Anything demanded, if is given on that spot then and there, then the child will never be ready to face any kind of failures, any kind of no answers in his life. This one thing I would really like to reinstate and reiterate in this assembly as a parent myself and to the young parents. Balance comes from these kind of realizations. There is, very beautifully, a skit was played here about the influence of these gadgets and devices and the time spent by children and parents in various gadgets like laptop or TV or smartphone, etc. This smartphone, I don't have to say anything about it. All of you know that how much of time is really devoured by that. But the smartphone now is another inevitable thing. We can't think of a day when even when our phone actually is repaired or failed or goes even out of charge for some moments, we really get jittery. Why? We are so enslaved to it. I don't say that you have to just throw your phone and be without that. But everywhere there should be a win-win situation. This balance. Some people know, in one of the movies I happened to see, the mother is so strict that she beats the child for everything. The father is so lenient that he doesn't care to correct her. This also will lead the child really to an awry situation. Here is the balance. Win-win situation. When you are actually scolding him, let him know what he is scolded for. If you are appreciating him, let him know what he is appreciated for. Let him know that just out of fear, if he is lying to you one day, that will be more serious, which will lead to a more serious and severe punishment than revealing the truth. Let him know what is personal integrity, what is honesty. Let him know how to be true to himself. If these values are inculcated into the child, then there will not be any problem in balancing. Let him know that he is unique, she is unique. Whatever she has is her own or his own talent. It is not to be compared with anybody. Like in 3 Idiots, he says, Lata Mangeshkar cannot come and stand in front of the crease and hit 6 and make the team win for India. Likewise, Sachin cannot go and sing a song and mesmerize all of us. Each one is carved out for his own or her own role. And let us recognize that and encourage them and let them carve their own personalities in their own way in such a way that everyone tomorrow will look up to them and make them a role model for everybody to see. A role model is not to do whatever he has done by others. It is to make work like what he did, to be balanced like what he did, to be honest and personally integrated in himself so that all the people can look upon him. That among our teachers, when the young children are criticized, I always have a soft corner for them. I'll say why. Because when I was studying, we had a chemistry professor, and that professor used to come by a bicycle, and he used to wear a Hawaii chapel. People used to really look at him and sometimes even mock at him. But the work he has done behind the screen is really jaw-dropping. He has trained so many hundreds of children without any fees, and that too very underprivileged children. And those children, when they presented him on a stage like a life giver of those people, we were all really flabbergasted that day. That's why I told you in the beginning that let us make our children realize to respect people by what they are, not by what they have. Today's children probably don't have such role models. People at even 7 or 8 years of age, the children look upon somebody who owns a Q7, Audi Q7 at the age of 28 or 30. So how is it possible? That is not the role model. One in thousands or hundreds or whatever number may be privileged to have that kind of a successful life, but not all of us. India is not that economically developed country also. So bringing them back to ground and making them realize what the subjective reality of each one family and each one group will make them realize what they have to look up to and what they have to grow into and what they have to contribute back to this society. And again, my dear parents, you are going through a very beautiful period of your life. Enjoy to the maximum, and all the best to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sudha, and we hope that parents take these valuable messages home, that not to overlook the basic rules of parenthood, and the focus should not be on looking good but being good. Thank you so much for the words of wisdom for all our parents. I hereby invite Mr. Peter George to kindly share his words of expertise with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to Mr. Peter George.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. That's it. Okay. Because I could see some people heading to sleep. Is it sleeping time? No. Okay. Respected Director, Mr. S.K. Nair, my friend, dignitaries on the dais, Principal, Madam Suvarna Kumari Amma, Madam Gracie Peter, and I can see quite a few known faces here. Hi to everybody. It's a good day, is it not? Okay, I will not take much of your time. Don't worry. I know you're either hungry or you're eager to see the children performing on the stage. I will only touch upon a few things that influenced my life. In the sense, I have been working as a professional for the last 60 years. I have been married for the last 50 years. I have been doing multi-level tasking for the last 40 years. So all this put together, I have one or two very valid experiences which I can share with you. See, all of us are working people. In most of the houses, both husband and wife are working. They're very tired. And maybe a few of you are also involved in other activities, social activities, religious activities. Because I was involved. At a time I was doing almost multitasking. You know, I was a professional in ITI, I was heading a social organization, I was deeply involved in religious matters, I was very deeply involved in my house also. So I know one thing what I have learned from a very, very young age is to keep all this apart. You work, when you leave the work spot, leave it at that. You go to your house, when your house, be a responsible person in the house. When you are outside for social work, be there, fully involved, do your best. When you are involved in religious work, do that with all sincerity. This is something which has helped me a lot, a good lot. I could keep this apart. I was holding a very, very responsible position in ITI, coordinating the entire mobile communication setup in the entire country. Very responsible, highly tense work. But once I leave the office, be it 6 o'clock, be it 7, be it 8, I will inform my wife that today I will be late by half an hour, I will be late by 1 hour. And at that time, when I drive back, I relax and move on to the next way of my life. I used to work in Kerala Samajam, a very responsible position, managing about 3,500 families, 3 education institutions, and I used to be there, fully involved, fully dedicated, without mixing up my housework or my professional work. So this will, if you can train yourself to keep all this apart and be honest and sincere to the work that you are doing, whether at home or at office. This will help you a lot, and this will give you time for your wife and your children to be with you. Remember one thing, most of you would have experienced, after work I am very tired, it was so hard to work, today was damn tired. And for you, every day is a routine. Get up in the morning, go to office, come back from office. But for your children, every day is a new day. Please understand that. And if you are able to synchronize your life with them, then that will do a lot of good to both of you. Because you want your children to grow up, right? What is growing up? Yes, they go to school. I think I heard many people telling, oh, I leave the child to the school and it's over. And you're very lucky that you are in Kidzee RM Nagar, because headed by a very well experienced educationist. We have worked together for about a decade in Jubilee School in Kerala Samajam, and we associate each other every day. So, but don't think that you leave your child at school and everything is over. And it is the responsibility of the teachers of the school to look after your child, teach them everything. You see the presentation what was made here earlier, which told that teachers at home, you are the teachers at home. So please understand that. And if your teachers at home, and if you find a little bit of time for your children, that will make the children grow up in the way you want. And after all, after your years and years of work, when you retire, what are you looking at? Any retired people here? I am sure quite a few are there, retired, yes. What are you looking at? Peaceful life. And this will come only if you have peaceful children and peaceful wife. Otherwise, no peaceful life for you after retirement. Okay, so please understand that. It's not for others, it's not for your children, it's not for your wife, it is for you, what you're going to do. And today, why advice? Because you are full of loaded with advices. You have Google, you have internet, you have AI and whatnot, you have internet, now you have deep sea. Informations are available. Plenty of information. AI can give you information in simple language, simple English, your own language, and difficult English also. Everything is available. But what is not available even today is not able to put into practice good things. No AI can teach you how to practice good things at home. No AI can teach you how to get involved in your work. And no AI can give you any opinion about how peaceful your retired life has to be. It is you who have to decide. You have to practice. Leave apart the good ones. Take the good ones only from the information available to you and see that you practice at home. This will give you a lot of benefit to see that your children grow up in the way you want. And today, when they grow up, when we grew up, we had only a few professions. Either become an engineer or become a doctor or go to the army. Today it is not like that. You have hundreds of professions in front of them. So if you want to prepare them to choose the right profession, you have to observe their life now and see that you understand what they want and give them what they want. It's my experience in life. I'm telling you, I don't want to explain that fully. I have experienced with my child that I did not realize at that time what he wants, and I put him in the wrong way, and finally he chose what he wants, and he is very successful now. So this is the way that we have to function, dear parents. I'm sure that I didn't take much of your time. Thank you for listening me so patiently. Okay, so have a good day again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peter George. Yes, only an expert can tell us that it is good to multitask, but not to lose focus on the very future in the form of our children. And whatever we do today is ultimately for our own peace only. Thank you so much for the guidance. And here we come to an end of the official meeting. Kindly join me in thanking and expressing our gratitude to all the eminent chief guests, Dr. Sudha K, Mr. Peter George, and of course, Ms. Jessie Rani. We would have loved to hear you, Ms. Jessie Rani, but next time kindly come speak also, and we would like to see your dance also.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would love to have a speech, but I'm running late for another appointment. But very soon I'll be meeting you all in a POP, eye care sessions in future. So there's good time we can spend together with the parents and having a conversation. Thank you, parents, and have a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your wishes. Thank you, parents, for patiently listening to all the expert advices. And here we come to an end of the official meeting on stage and moving on to the dance performances. Thank you, Mr. S.K. Nair, the principal, and Dr. Sudha, Mr. Peter George, and Ms. Jessie Rani. Sir, we need a picture of all of you. Kindly be there. Mr. Peter. They want a picture. They want a picture. Can you please stand? It is smelling so yummy, but I'm sure when we start the dance performances, you will relax your smelling sense organ and you will give rise to your eye sense organ, because our next set of performances